Hey, this is a demo of Scriber, which is a human-in-the-loop continuous learning AI transcription tool. The reason that I made this is because I run a Monster of the Week campaign every week, and I transcribe the recordings of the campaign so that I can use it as like reference for DM planning. And I got really, really sick of having to make the same corrections over and over and over again without the model ever learning anything. So I made this where every time you make an edit, it gets automatically added to a data set that is used to train a LoRa on top of Whisper v3, and that training happens automatically in the background. And so what that allows you to do is that it allows you to periodically retranscribe the stuff that the user hasn't seen yet as they are moving through the document. So like not only does it get better, does the model get better in between sessions, it also gets better actively during the current session. So I have a bunch of corrections already saved here, which actually makes the transcription dramatically better. But just to kind of illustrate how this works, I'm going to go ahead and make a new project. Let's call it the demo project. And the project is just kind of what the how you store all of like the LoRa's and the AI data and all of that for a given like source. So the idea is if you have a bunch of like recordings coming from a single source or distribution, which could be like, you know, your podcast or your D&D game or whatever, you would combine those together so that they can all benefit from corrections from other documents. So let's go ahead and load our folder. So I don't love how long this initial setup takes. That's something that I'm still working on. Like I would like to get it so that this can like quick start instantly. But you can see that it's like loading the different people. And these are just like taken from the file names, but I can click on them and rename them if I want to. I can hear my GPU fan spinning up. Okay, here we go. So, if I want to rename people, I can just do that, and then it renames them through the transcript. Okay, so let's start playing.
Okay. I thought that the audio bots weren't working at all.
So already we've got a mistake. Yeah. This should be weren't, and then this formatting's a little off.
This one's not mine though.
So now if I look in corrections, you can see.
I thought that the audio bots weren't working at all. So cool.
And so what we can do is we can just
this one's
resume.
I the recording bot is a off-the-shelf thing.
Just the music one.
Yeah, the music and the background audio are the same script, and either one's working.
Okay, so we got another error here.
I missed the before credits, but I recorded everything up to this point just in case.
I deleted a hallucinated piece of audio there.
I appreciate it. If you could send me the before credits, or the like the oh, okay.
The recap.
So this is out of order because the Whisper timestamps are a little bit wrong. So I can just move that down and then combine these together. Oops.
Okay. I appreciate it. If you could send me the before credits, or the like the oh, okay.
The recap.
Yeah. Okay. I think I don't need the recap. I'll just re-record the cold open for the recording.
Cool.
Okay.
That should be cold open.
Cool.
That should also be cold open. This is the kind of thing that the LoRa is really helpful for. Is like terms of art like this that are specific to the project. So you might notice these bubbles popping up over here. These are things where there is like audio in one of the tracks that does not correspond to one of these speech bubbles. And so mostly it's stuff like or that got dropped by the transcriber. But sometimes the transcription fails to catch a piece of audio that is important. And so if that happens, you can just click this button to promote it.
When it gets to be around,
in this case, we don't actually want that. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. So you can see the little AI panel over here is waiting to have enough runway and which is like stuff to scroll down to while it's training. And then it needs 8 more corrections before it's worth training a fresh LoRa. I'm also going to go ahead and bump the speed a little bit so that we can get through this more quickly.
Cool. So when it gets to be around 9 a.m., one of Bigelow's guys, like a big burly enforcer, goes into the kitchen and makes pancakes, and makes a round, handing out little paper plates full of pancakes and cheap imitation maple syrup and coffee. People are still like actively like carrying around Spaz 12s and M16s, and pretty on edge. But you guys are starting to have conversations about what you want to do, what your next move is going to be. What are your thoughts?
I mean, we should try to get in contact either via cell phone, or, if that's off the table, then walkie or something with, probably the FBI offers, just because weird shit is happening.
So the phones are definitely down, and your walkie-talkies don't have the range to reach Salt Lake City. You guys could try driving to Roosevelt and seeing if their phone system is up.
Does Bigelow not have a satellite phone somewhere? Would those exist in the 90s?
Do we still have a car phone? I can't remember if that was the thing.
You put in a request for a car phone, but A, it hasn't been fulfilled yet. B,
yeah, probably doesn't work in Ballard, Utah.
Well, B, you didn't take your own. You didn't take your own car.
Yeah,
you got a rental car. And then C, your rental car was destroyed, and now you're driving Betsy.
Then probably D. I'm gonna guess they don't have the infrastructure for car phones in fucking
yeah, no.
bumfuck Utah.
Cell phone infrastructure was a lot spottier in the 90s. I think satellite phones did exist.
Well, we can ask if he has one, and alternatively ask if there's somewhere in town that might.
I know there was like towers that could handle like 10 calls at a time, built in cities and stuff though.
The first commercial satellite phone was introduced in 98.
Really? Because I could see first late generation 1990s Iridium satellite phone on Wikipedia, but also it says that, well, whatever.
Anyways, we don't have one.
We'll say the Bigelow's on. Have one.
Either it doesn't exist or we don't have it, but we don't have it.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a annoying thing that happens sometimes because Whisper's timestamps are not very good. I'm still working on this. Is like the beginning of one sentence will leak around to the previous sentence, but it's at least easy to fix.
We don't have one.
We'll say the Bigelow's on have one.
Either it doesn't exist or we don't have it, but we don't have it.
Yeah, regardless, we don't have it.
Okay.
I guess that was 90.
Yeah, I think trying to get in touch with the outside world makes sense, because clearly someone doesn't want you to, right?
And also, just at a minimum, like, we should report the shit we've seen, because it seems like some kind of conspiracy is going on, right? There were lots of people at the gymnasium, right?
Yes. Yeah, as far as you can tell, there were a number of, like, decomposing bodies at the ceiling.
I just meant, like, the people that confronted Andrew, or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I didn't get to see that, but the second hand, or whatever.
Yeah, Andrew told you that, like, a bunch of the townspeople tried to grab him and kidnap him. Do you guys want to wait for, McManley to show up before you make a move?
I mean, did we have an ETA for him?
He's supposed to show up that morning.
And surely nothing would cause him to be delayed.
Yeah.
I think he said around, like, 10 a.m.
Well, what time is it now?
It's like 9.
Okay.
I mean, he's usually on time, so he should show up like
Well, I was
in a
gonna say, we
minute.
might wait the hour, and then if
Yeah,
he's not here, tell him, or tell the people that are gonna stay here to explain to him what's going on when he shows up.
We can do this Skyrim, wait for an hour. Menu action.
Yeah, you guys eat your pancakes and drink your coffee.
Like, maybe, like, look at a map of the town and see if there's, like, a, radio broadcast station or anything, right? Something that might, be able to
Yeah,
reach.
I think there is. I think there is a, like, local radio station. Yeah, I think there is. I think there is a, like, local radio station.
Something that might, be able to
Yeah, I think there is. I think there is a like local radio station.
Because usually for emergency stuff, those will frequently be prepped with backup generators.
Do you guys? Yeah. So there's like a little tiny like local radio station, kind of at on the far east side of town, that you guys could go and check out if you want to.
If that doesn't work, maybe drive to Roosevelt or something. But
yeah, an hour passes, and McManley does not show up. Another half hour passes, and just as you were giving up hope
This is another
on
thing.
McManley showing up,
Who
has the radio physically on
Name
them?
spellings are something that is very useful to be able to learn.
probably do right now.
Okay. Kurt, your radio sparks to life. And it says, Kurt, your radio sparks to life. And it says, is anybody there?
Affirmative. Who is this?
McManley? I could use pickup.
All right, you got a location? What's going on?
I'm on the road between, some shithole and Ballard. There's been a shootout. We've got some bodies. And I'd appreciate reinforcements.
We're on route.
In which direction?
I said between Ballard and some shithole, so I assume they're like I assume we're basically on a one road system for the most part.
You know he's coming from Salt Lake City. So
everything really we know.
Okay, I think that's enough that you get the idea. You can see that it's like training, or actually, let's go ahead and wait for it to finish. So it's currently in the process of training the new Laura. So that should be.
In which direction?
I said between Ballard and some shithole, so I assume they're like I assume we're basically on a one road system for the most part.
You know he's coming from Salt Lake City.
Everything really we know.
Okay.
Around it in, so.
Yeah. So he would have had to pass through Roosevelt to get here.
Okay.
He just doesn't care enough to know the name of the last.
Oh, so it sounds like he's having a rough morning. So like
Yeah.
And Roosevelt is kind of a shithole, to be honest.
Okay, so the shithole is Roosevelt in this.
And Roosevelt is kind of a shithole, to be honest.
Okay, so the shithole is Roosevelt in this. Are we splitting the party? Or is everybody going?
I vote we all go, but
Yeah, let's just all go. Okay, you guys pile into Betsy, and you guys get on the road. It is not hard to figure out where he is because his van or his Suburban is on its side, blocking the road into Ballard. As you guys drive through town, it looks like the school is pretty much burned to the ground, and nobody there's not really anybody out and about. Like the town is extremely quiet, and there's kind of a bad mood in the air. Anyways, yeah, when you guys get to the van, you guys see a bunch of bodies in laying on the pavement around the van. And you see McManley holding a shotgun, standing behind the van using it for cover in case more people come out of Ballard. And he is pointing his gun at you and his two.
As we're pulling up, I want to flap my badge out the window just because we're driving what looks like. As we're pulling up, I want to flap my badge out the window just because we're driving what looks like a fucking Addams Family hearse mobile or some shit.
Yeah, they relax a little bit when they see the badge. And McManley pokes his head around the side of the van, the tipped over van, and he says, "That you, Larson?"
Yes, sir.
You got anybody else with you?
You know, the usual crew. Got Andrew, Biz, fuck, what's Zach's name again?
Huel.
Yeah, Whisper V3 does not know the name.
Huel. Yeah, Huel. You know, regular crew.
All right, we're gonna come out. And they slowly emerge. Says, what the fuck is going on in this town?
You know, that is an excellent question. Any of you boys need medical?
One of the interns has been shot in the leg.
Okay, so you can see here that this yellow section here is the runway that was preserved while it was training or while it was deploying the new model. So in the background, a new model has been deployed, and all of the blue ones from here on out were retranscribed with the new model. So these are going to be of higher quality than the ones we've been seeing so far. And as I go through this, that's just going to keep happening. And so every time I get a new set of corrections, it is going to train a new LoRa every time I get 15 new ones. And so as I go, the models are just going to keep getting better and better and better. And like, if I look at some of the debug information here, yeah, so there's like a dead zone where like it has to wait a little bit before it's allowed to retrain again, just to avoid it getting stuck in like a loop of like retraining very quickly. And then it needs one more correction before it's allowed to retrain again. And then there's like a certain amount of runway that it needs. Oh yeah, and then also I'm using GPT-4o Mini to format these consistently, because Whisper tends to bounce around between a bunch of different formatting conventions, and it's nice to be able to just enforce one. But yeah, when I'm done with this, I can just, or like when I get to the end of the recording, I can just go here and then export transcript. And then that will download it as just like a nicely formatted TXT file, and I'm going to add a couple of other formatting options. But yeah, that's the product. It makes it dramatically faster, and it's a lot less frustrating to use than my old process. So I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out.